Thank you for joining us for the launch of Model L. This is a huge moment for us as a startup for Universal Simulation completely. So a huge welcome to everyone that's joined us. We've had universities from Germany, all over Europe, here in the UK. I saw Texas, I've seen Houston, I've seen loads of places in the US, New York University as well. So welcome back to those of you we know already, and a huge warm hello and welcome to those of you that we're meeting for the first time. And we look forward in reaching out to you after the webinar as well. So Universal Simulation has become UniSim, and we are the medical flight simulator. And the reason that we're doing this is because 90% of universities train using plastic models, which don't feel like the real thing. The consumables quickly become expensive because as soon as you've used one, you have to repurchase a brand new one. And that also has the environmental impact as well. And then students move on to real people, real patients. And we want to make sure that the students that move to real patients are completely ready for that. And they're not learning from their first real patient with any mistakes they could be making. So that's where we use haptics to train. And these are haptic mechanical arms. And we combine that with our simulations. And once you do that, that gives you this virtual touch. And all that means is that you can feel what's happening inside the simulation. So you get the sort of motor feedback and you can safely make mistakes and learn from it in a virtual environment before you go on to your first real patients. So we've split it into 3 parts: the hardware, the software, and then your classroom setup. So for the hardware, we want to make it as accessible as possible. So universities could even build their own simulators and do this on a real budget if they have to. But to make life easier, they can purchase these pre-built simulators to make sure they're running on the same hardware and everything's been tested for these platforms. Now, we've already launched the Model T. We started off looking to create the world's most affordable simulators for the universities, and we did just that. We launched this late last year, and our first customer, who we're very thankful to have on board, is Adema University, and you'll be hearing a bit from Diego Gonzalez, the CEO of Adema University, in a bit. But here is the flyover of his university, and you'll be able to see what it looks like. So that is Adema University and the world's first 8 Model T simulators in action. And that's the hardware. So then onto the software. We already have Dentiversal preclinical dental training. We already have oral surgery, the only simulation of its type. And we're working on an R&D project with anesthesia with New York University and the University of Adema. And finally, the classroom setup. So this is where you have multiple simulators all connected together and working in harmony, along with a server and a teacher PC, connected in to some of the other hardware you have in the universities. And you can also add in high fidelity simulation like that from Vertizi Dental to really take this to the next level and have the world's most simulation suite out there.
Leroy, how are you?
Thanks, James. Yeah, really good, thank you.
Well, you've been going around a lot of universities recently and hearing feedback that they've had on the Model T. So I'm really interested to hear what have the universities been saying?
Well, James, they absolutely love it. What they love the most is that the students can repeat practices over and over again. There's no end to how many times they can repeat. The university can compare students' results, and I guess ultimately they love that they're able to use haptics on a reasonable budget. That's something that's not been available before. The only downside, I guess, is that with the Model T, it's only available at the university on site, which is why we've developed the Model L. What I'll do, James, is I'll hand back to you so that you can discuss all about the Model L.
Thank you, Leroy. And it's good to hear so much feedback from the universities recently.
But we're here for the launch of the Model L, which is the world's first portable haptic and VR dental simulator. And we're really proud this has gone from this 3D design to deployment. So here it is. The case is made by Pelican, and we've custom designed it with them. So it's one of the most robust cases out there, and you can get to university any which way you want. And so here is the unboxing. Right, so that is the unboxing of the Model L. You can see it literally arrives in that bright orange case, and it takes just a few moments to get everything set up on the desk. Now, I've got the first prototype simulator here. The echo for you, hopefully this sounds better now. So let's run the dental program. And so the dental program, Dentiversal, allows you to do the preclinical, just like you saw there in edema. So here we're going to take a case study. So this is a patient-specific case, and then load that into the simulation. You can see there the logo for Edema University, which is where the first Model L is going to. I'm really excited to see how students are going to benefit from this technology. So you can see we then have a virtual seam. But what's really amazing is obviously the haptics. So we'll go ahead and choose from one of our dental burrs. And then we'll place ourselves down. So then we can just arrange the camera . And you'll be able to see I've got a foot pedal underneath the desk as well. So as I press that foot pedal down, I'm activating the drilling, and then I'm able to remove the material on the enamel and through to the dentine as well. So you can recreate these simulations for restoration, endodontics and prosthodontics. We have preclinical dentistry, we have oral surgery, and we are working on projects for anesthesia, and we'll be opening it up to the simulations from other companies as well. So you'll be able to dive straight in and use both this and the desktop simulator for loads of different simulations in different parts of the university. So I'm going to bring you back now to Diego and Leroy to hear about how universities are planning to use this device in their teaching and what we've got next in store.
How many times do the students tend to repeat an exercise on the simulators in the university?
we made 3 times, okay? Three to repeat any exercise, and they have to be better in this exercise anytime. Um,
What better way for a student to repeat the processes that they're doing than having the equipment at home to do it, and to do so when they choose, not just in a classroom, in their own environment, how they feel comfortable. You know, people have their own learning styles, people have different ways that they like to learn. You know, I could go on all day, but I think ultimately the discussions that I've had is that people in universities are going to they're going to feel far more competent and confident when they come out of using the equipment than they would do if they were to just do so on a live patient. You know, they'll feel far more confident by the end of it. But look, I could go on all day. I'll pass back to you, James.
Thank you, Leroy. Fantastic. I guess that's one of the benefits of the simulators, really, isn't it? That they can repeat it as many times as they need to. And within those 3 times when they're repeating it, like if they were doing it on the phantom heads, for instance, and you were replacing the teeth, they might come out slightly differently each time. So then it's not quite like 100% a fair assessment from each practice go. Whereas with the simulators, because it's virtual, everything's replicated 100% how it was the last time, which then gives you a fair comparison between different students as well.
Very, very interesting, the option for the evaluation with the computer of all the information is easy to make the evaluation of the work of the student. Very easy. It's a good tool. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. And like I say, we're very thankful for all the support from Medima University for being the first client for both the Model T. You've got 8 of those simulators there. You've got 2 with the oral surgery, which will be delivered with the Pollen haptics soon, and be the first university in the world to have the first portable simulator in these topics as well. So it's absolutely amazing. So thank you for that. And I really do hope that the students benefit from it. The university does. And you were telling me about doing an international teaching as well, where you could have students signing on from abroad, and you might potentially be able to send them the simulator as well.
Yeah, because it's the international education and international learning. We can send the laptop with the haptic, and we can make like now you are in England or where you are now. I don't know. Normally you are in any part of the world, but I said that we can stay working, and you can take the feedback of the student, and you can say to the student where like to be better with this work. Yeah, I think that is very, very interesting also for post degree. It's very interesting for us. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Also,
okay, cool.
to go to make learning to other place. You can bring the laptop with the haptic and go to a lot of classroom of different university and give some sessions with the students, no? And you take the simulator with me. It's not like the old simulator is so bigger and you cannot move. You have to stay only around the simulator.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, one of the things which is really interesting that I know Leroy's heard from some universities is that the idea of if the university can't afford a simulator for each of the students when they're working remotely, then actually they could purchase just a couple of the portable simulators for the teachers. And then they can actually stream a lesson online, like we're doing over Zoom for students in maths and sciences. The teachers would be able to give a live demonstration of the work that they're doing and broadcast that to the students.
Yeah, I think that is a useful tool for to qualificate the student and also with the mistakes. No, yeah. Also, it's portable and we can go to the student or the student can to us. Yeah, we can make a feedback directly also or international feedback. I send to you and I give the lesson and you are working and you are in UK and I am in Spain or you are in Spain and other people in Dubai, we can make around all the world with this system of haptic learning. Yeah, I think that is very, very interesting for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the huge things for the future is that once we've got more and more universities on board, is that the data side of it, like we'll be able to make comparisons of trainee dentists from different countries under different curriculums and sort of benchmark people like we've never been able to do before.
Yeah, I think that one of the difficulties that the people is only, by the way, is thinking in the old system. Yeah, step to step we go to change, but a lot of people is thinking like a all system. Yeah, the analogic. No, they don't want to go out because they are more sure in the analogic. But I think that the present and the future of the learning is with the haptic system. I think that also, like you say before about the anesthesia. Yeah, I think that the anesthesia is very, very interesting for the students. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about changing for the future. I mean, one of the things you did recently was you signed a memorandum with Tashkent State Dental Institute in Uzbekistan. And one of the things they did was doing an international dental competition using the simulators, which I mean is the first time we've ever been able to do something like that.
I think that is very, very good idea. It's fantastic. I think that is a future very good for this idea. For this competition is very interesting for all the students. They like. Yeah.
So is that something that you'll be participating in the future then? Is it the international dental competition with your new simulators?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for being with us for the launch of the Model L, Diego. Leroy, did you have anything else you wanted to say to everyone while we're here?
No, nothing really. Just thank you, Diego, for coming on the call. It's been great to hear from you. And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you to you. You're welcome.
That's great. Well, we look forward to seeing you in Palma, Mallorca very soon.
Yeah. We want you can arrive. I think that in a few days we start to open the restaurant because now they are a medium lockdown and we don't have restaurant and we are only home work. we don't go to any place. We need to go out of work and home. Yeah. Okay, when you arrive, I think when you travel to Mallorca, I think that this stay more free and we can go to bring something out. Here in the school, we are well. We are working. We are sure because we are also the simulators, and we don't stop. We can work without stop by the lockdown because we have the simulators and we are sure to work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's lovely to be able to hear that students are able to keep training. You know, I mean in times like this, that makes a huge difference. It really does. So yeah, thank you again for your time, and thank you to everyone who's attended the webinar. I know how busy you are, Diego, so we'll let you go, and then myself and Leroy will just answer some of the questions which have come up on the Mentimeter. So thank you, Diego, and we'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye. And so, Leroy, we have a few questions from universities that have joined. I think you've met a few of them already. So you've got a welcome from the universities in Germany. And we've got a question that I hope you'll be able to answer. It asks, we've got one from a university asking, could they purchase the Model T simulator and subsequently trade them in as a deposit for the university-based model, so that universities with tight budgets can progress with their investment? So I assume this question of, if they were to buy some of these like portable simulators, for instance, so that students train from home during quarantine, then once we're out of quarantine, could they trade the laptop simulators back in to replace them with desktop ones that are fixed within the university?
Certainly one that we can look into.
Oh, oh, sorry, I just lost that. And here we go. Is there simulated sound for the student during the online examination? So yes, there is sound on the simulators. So as you're drilling, for instance, you hear the sound of the drilling as well. Okay, great. Now, some of these other ones we'll have to follow up after the webinar, just so I can run them through for the translation. And last one, can the vendor supply at purchase cost one of the simulators for us as a demonstration unit? So feel free to send us an email either to myself or to Leroy, and absolutely we'll get in contact and see what we can do for that, because we're very keen to have more universities benefit from this technology. Absolutely. Right, so let me just see if I can get the presentation back on your screen. So Leroy, so you've been out and about universities. You've been showing them how the Model T works, because we've had that out a few months now. But I know that people have been asking you about what's happening for the Model L, which is why we've got so many people with us today. So what is it? What are they excited about? What questions are they asking you when you go to see them?
Yeah. Well, look, James, people are genuinely excited by the possibilities that Model L brings. It's far too easy to think that Model L is just a fix for the current situation we find ourselves in. It's a lot more than that. A lot of the contacts that I've been speaking to, one particular one actually said to me that he saw remote learning as the future of student learning in a university environment. A real key way that students learn is through repetition, and having Model L, being able to take it home, they're able to repeat those practices and those procedures as many times as they like. I guess if a student has access to a tool that can teach them what they need to learn 24/7, they can only become far more confident, and far more better qualified to go into the real world at the end.
Great, thank you, Leroy. So, like I say, we've got Diego Gonzalez, the CEO of Edema University. So we'll hear from him, but from us and everybody at UniSim, the flight medical simulator for dentists and doctors of the future. It's a huge warm thank you and goodbye from us. See you soon. Bye-bye.